and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho from the Too Close to Call podcast series, joined as always with my co-host Pags, and this is the final Five for Fighting podcast here as the 2018-2019 season comes to a close.
The final time, and Gloria sings loud throughout the city of St. Louis. The Blues win their first ever Stanley Cup, and they helped me out by giving me a little bit of money in my bank account to end the year.
There we go. What'd you put it on them when they were 250-1?
No, last night, I think they were plus 160, plus 155. They haven't lost consecutive games this entire playoffs. They're now 8-0. They were 7-0 going into last night. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with those odds.
Well, now you know why they're Stanley Cup champions, because if you don't lose 2 in a row this time of year, you're probably going to do pretty good.
Yeah, man. And it was impressive. They went into Boston, took it 2-0 going into the third period, and they really just took the air out of that building.
Dude, if you watch that first period, it's basically the reason why hockey is not a real sport sometimes.
Why is that?
Boston absolutely dominated the first period. The Blues went over 16 minutes without a shot on goal. The next shot, wrist shot from the point, deflected in. Later in the first period, failed clear by Boston, ill-advised line change, turnover, backhand, roofed it with 7 seconds left in the first period. They got outshot like 15-5. They were outplayed for 18 minutes. Oh, and you were losing 2-0.
That helps when you have a really good goaltender, and he's a rookie. The Blues stole my bold prediction from the Flyers. Rookie goalie comes in, changes the tide, goes from worst to first.
It really was amazing.
But not Philadelphia.
Just to see, and that's where I keep telling you, Pags, if we have Carter Hart and this guy's anywhere near one of these levels, you can just steal games in the playoffs, because literally we're watching those first 20 minutes. Boston dominated, and it was 2-0 Blues. And it's just like, it's hard as hell to come back from that, I'm sure, in between periods. And then you don't get another one in the second, and you're going, holy shit, man, can we even score on this guy? Like, what is going on?
So I'm going to bring it down for a second. I'm going to read a bunch of things, and you're going to tell me what they all have in common.
Okay.
Berube, Shen, Straight, Sharp 3 times, Timonen, Handzus, Carter twice, Richards twice, Williams 3 times, Gagne, Hextall, Stevens, Recchi twice, Fedotenko twice, Barber, Codine, Brindamore, and Delzada.
And Delzado. Oh, man. The first couple, I was like, Berube Blues? What the hell is he talking about? And then as you got to the Carters and Richards, and I'm like, oh, these are the amount of times people have won the goddamn Stanley Cup since they left Philadelphia. We are the good luck Chuck of the National Hockey League, Pags. People come to us to play and then leave because we trade them because we're nice people, apparently. So, hear that, people. Philadelphia's nice. But we send them to teams that are like, oh, you have a chance to win. Here you go. Give it a shot. And every goddamn time they do. What's the deal, man? When's it going to be our time? When are we going to get our time, Pags?
Why are we always the bridesmaid and not the bride?
Not even the bridesmaids. We're not even in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're like that guy we're the wedding crashers that sneaks in but then gets caught and gets kicked out.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, who are you guys? You're not supposed to be here. You don't have a goalie yet. It's been 40 years you've never found a goalie.
Hopefully it turns around, man. So this is going to be the end of hockey talk for a while, but I was happy for the Blues fans, but not really happy for St. Louis, because St. Louis, we're starving. You have the Cardinals. The Cardinals have more MLB championships than anyone other than they might even have more than the Yankees. So I don't feel too bad for them. And now they have the Stanley Cup, so good for them, I guess.
Good for them, man. But how about this? The Blues, as we talked about, were 250-1 overall when they were in last place, right? One guy named Scott Barry, while visiting Vegas for work, put $400 on him. So he won $100,000 last night, Tag. So I don't know how much you put on him last night, but Mr. Barry was having a good day. So my question to you now is, I saw on SportsCenter this morning, and the two I can remember off the top of my head. So I'm going to ask you which one is more likely, although both technically they are equal at 250 to 1. But in your opinion, which one is more likely? The Purdue Boilermakers winning the college football playoff, or Harvard winning the NCAA men's basketball tournament?
Oh my God.
That's how crazy what just happened is. That's how crazy what we just saw. Purdue Boilermakers basically have to go out, go undefeated, beat Alabama, beat Clemson. That's what St. Louis just did in hockey.
That's unbelievable. I guess I'd go Purdue because Purdue beat Ohio State last year, because I don't see Harvard freaking all those white dudes beating anybody in the freaking NCAA tournament.
I know. If Tommy Amaker is still at Harvard, the old Michigan guy, I'll give him my my fandom, so to speak. But yeah, when they put up Purdue, and I'm going, man, 5-6, 6-5 Purdue, that's what the hell we're looking at? That's just a wild thing to think about.
That's unbelievable. And that just shows you how hockey is different from all the other sports. How
all you got to do is make the playoffs.
There. Yeah, everybody's in it.
All you got to do is make the playoffs in hockey. We saw that with the historical run Tampa Bay went on, and then get cold for a week and you're gone. It's just it is amazing, truly, because of the goalie and just the way hockey works, that would never happen in basketball. Talent's going to weigh out, like the Warriors aren't going to lose to the Nets, even though they're both playoff teams. I know those are cross-function,
right.
But you know what I'm saying. And in football, I mean, very rarely does the 6th seed make a run. It happens occasionally, like we saw with, I think it was the Ravens were the last ones to do it all the way through. But in hockey, man, more often than not, you'll see at least one Cinderella make a run, and this one just happened to take it all the way to the ball and lift Lord Stanley.
Even the 6th seed, like the Eagles were the 6th seed last year, and they were 2 games behind the 2 seed. So it's like, it's not that different in football just because they really narrowed down the playing field once it gets to playoffs. So
sure.
It's just hockey's crazy, man. I mean, you saw it with the Kings years back where they were the 8th seed and they didn't lose a game until the Stanley Cup.
Wild,
so
man. Get a hot goaltender, get a couple of offensive guys who are fine in the back of the net, and then all of a sudden, a few bounces here and there, a few missed calls here and there, and, you're staring at the first championship for the Blues ever.
Crazy. I'm happy for the Blues. Glad Boston has to wait for another parade route, so they were getting a little cocky there.
Yeah, and the Red Sox not in line, so I guess they're going to have to wait for those Patriots to win their 4th straight AFC. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
That's so gross.
That's probably going to happen.
How about that, though, dude? I honestly, I still feel like people forget about that with the Patriots. I know I'm jumping around as a hockey podcast, but I was like, man, they win, they lose, they win. I was like, holy shit, dude, nobody else has been there in 3 years. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, man. But anyway, hockey podcast, Boston Bruins, they'll be back. I don't know. I think they got a little bit of salary cap issues to work through. A couple of guys are going to lose, but that's any team typically who makes it and goes for it this time of year. So we'll see how the turnover goes there. But free agency, the draft, not too far away, Pags. So that will be our next Hockey Talk edition when we're talking more specifically Flyers again and what the hell they're doing with this 11th pick that apparently Chuck Fletcher came out and said nobody wants. They're trying to sell it and nobody wants it. And I was like, I don't know if that's good business, Chuck. I'm not sure. I feel like you should be saying everybody wants this pick.
Everybody wants this pick.
Yeah. Like he's basically like, yeah, nobody wants it. We're trying to give it away. I'm like, I don't think that's driving up the value, Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think you're going to get a garbage bag full of pucks?
There you go. We need some pucks and some hockey tape, and we'll be good to go for number 11. But, yeah, as always, thanks for listening here during this playoff run to the 5 for Fighting podcast. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We know hockey isn't the most popular sport out there, so hopefully if you were listening to this as a average hockey fan, we brought you some value and you guys learned something.
Hey, congratulations to the Blues. We will get back to you once hockey starts rolling around again. So we will talk to you later, guys.
Peace.